Today, this is 80 words per minute speed, and this dictation is pertaining to the examination conducted by Andhra Pradesh State Board of Technical Education in October 1961. So, if you're ready, I will give dictation. Ready? One, two, three. Ready? Yes. Paying a tribute to Madras and its people, the Prime Minister said, whenever I come to Madras, I feel happy not merely to meet you all, but rather to sense the atmosphere of this great city. I travel about all over India, and when I come here from the far north, I experience a sense of quiet in the atmosphere, and I feel, as I feel today, that probably you here have imbibed Gandhiji's message a little more than the people in other parts of India. Each part of India has its particular individuality and background, and there is much good in each part. Coming from the north, perhaps I have something of the hardness of the north. I find here an air, an atmosphere which is much more gracious, much more soothing, and much more civilized, if I may say so, because I am getting a little tired of the shouting that goes on in some parts of India, the indiscipline that goes on as if that is supposed to be an act or an exhibition of courage. For 30 years or more, Mr. Nehru said, many of them had lived under the shadow of Gandhiji. They were not perhaps worthy of being considered his followers because they failed him often. But in any event, we were influenced by him as the country was influenced. We were disciplined by him as millions in this country were disciplined, and step by step we went forward as the country did in our pilgrimage to Swaraj, because whether it is a peaceful movement or a warlike movement, whenever you want to do something effective, you have to do it in a disciplined way. Discipline, Mr. Nehru said, is the first thing that the country should learn. I find indiscipline among the younger people in schools and colleges. I do not how to describe it, but it is such a complete lack of understanding not only of political behavior but of decent behavior. They have not experienced it or not seen what had happened in the fight for freedom. They read about it in history, or maybe have heard about it through elders. Possibly they imagine that freedom came to us by a little of shouting, observance of hartals, and the like. They are very much mistaken. We have seen this great Republic of India emerge in freedom and independence, Mr. Nehru said. We have been it grow in stature before our eyes in the world. We have seen inside the country many things being done which lessen the suffering and the misery of our people, which greatly encourage them. It is a tremendous problem, the proper utilization of the vast human resources of the land. We have seen all this. It has been our privilege to witness the result of the labor of the past generations. But much remains to be done. A great lot remains to be done, and we have no time to lose because the world is a difficult world to live in. It is a hard world. It is a pitiless world to the weak and the undisciplined, and if we become weak and indisciplined, and if we become susceptible to the disease of disruption, the world will have little pity and we may have to go down. Dear sir, we have just received your letter of the 15th instant, and we are sorry to learn that your hair dryer manufactured by us has given you trouble and caused you to burn your hand. At the outset, we take this opportunity to point out special care we take before our appliances are delivered to our customers. Immediately on manufacture, each and every part of the appliance is checked up, and again before it is actually delivered, it is tested against any possible defect. We cannot therefore understand in the least how the accident could have occurred. You are, of course, quite wrong in thinking that we don't care once we have had your money. We care very much indeed, for we want every user of our appliances have the utmost confidence in them and to enjoy using them. If you will be good enough to send your hair dryer to us, we will examine it thoroughly and either repair it free of charge if the machine was defective when bought, or tell you what is the cause of trouble and how much it will cost to remedy it. We are sure you will consider this a perfectly fair offer and an indication, if such were necessary, of our desire that those who buy the appliances of the company shall be fully satisfied with them, assuring you of our best and prompt attention at all times, yours faithfully.